Out today with my two boys.
No.
No, okay, they don't want to be filmed. And we're going up to Cerrig-Calch, hopefully, for a camp. And I'll go through some of my mid-range camping equipment that I've now had for a year and can give a proper opinion on. Okay, so we are now at 600 meters altitude. That was a fair old climb up. It's pretty steep up, coming up the fields at the bottom, and then a little bit of sort of very light sort of scrambling up onto Table Mountain, which is down there. So I actually camped above Table Mountain this time. I promised some equipment reviews, so I'm going to do a few things. So first of all, this is the Flextail Tiny Pump X2. It's kind of a mid-range pump. Works a treat, works an absolute treat, and it's got a really good light for hanging in the tent, I think. Don't quote me on this, I'll put on the screen if I'm wrong. This can also charge your phone, I'm not sure. Going into the tent, actually, just to show you this as well, the Exped Dura 5R mat. This is the medium mat. This is the durable version of their sleeping mat, so that means it's a little bit heavier, but it's very, very robust. And I mean, I'm a big fella. I've had this on probably 15, 16 camps so far, hasn't missed a beat. There was one time I thought it'd gone down a little bit in the morning, but then I looked at, we'd pitched at about 22 degrees Celsius and it was about 1, so I think that was more just a drop in temperature, but it hasn't done anything since. It's wonderful. A little bit narrow, so there is a wider version of it. I think that would still fit this tent as well. So a couple of things to start you off. These are kind of mid-priced things. They're not overly expensive, but they're not cheap either, but they are built to last. And look at this view. So the next thing I would recommend is the Firemaple X2 stove. It's a blatant rip-off of Jetboil, so it's kind of, I guess, the Chinese equivalent of a Jetboil, but it does the same thing at a much lower cost, and so far so good. It's got built-in igniter. Those don't last forever, so I always have a backup lighter for that as well, but really quite quick to boil water, and quite quiet as well. Cheers. That is grim. What the hell is that? Oh, it's like gravy. So the Firemaple packs down into this small container. It also has an adapter to use for a saucepan or frying pan, and you have a carry bag as well. It's not the lightest thing, but it does the job really well, and it's sturdy. Next little bit of kit is this Trekology pillow, and it has a strap that you can tie onto the onto your mat. Really quite comfy. It's best not to overinflate it, but yeah, really comfy wide pillow, and not too expensive. You can inflate it either by mouth, or better to inflate it using the pump, so you don't get condensation in it. Definitely recommended though. I want to give 2 shout outs before we head off for a walk. First of all, Beacon's Explorer, I'll put the thing on the screen. He camped recently where I usually camp, which is down there on the hill fort. I mean, I say down there, it's still 450 meters elevation down there, but wonderful chap, great videos. If you like this sort of area, then definitely check him out. The other one is, and I've mentioned her before, Chiltern Wild Camper. Now, you probably need to change your name, Leslie, because let's face it, you're doing Peak District, you're doing Brecons, but no, you do Chiltern stuff as well. She's a great lady, really entertaining to watch her videos as well. Gets some wonderful places. Currently going to the Peak District quite a lot, but the reason I'm shouting her out is because my tent, I believe, is on the spot that her tent was, and she was the inspiration behind us coming to this particular spot on Cerrig-Calch. So check those 2 out, and now I think if I can drag my boys out of their tents, then maybe we can take a little walk up to the summit. for tonight. Hobgoblin Ruby for me, and because I'm extremely generous, William, embrace the opaque. It's a Hazy Jane. Good luck, it tastes like crap. Well, it looks like we've got potentially some weather coming over, some showers tonight, so we're back at the tents and we're just cooking dinner now. The boys have got something to eat, spaghetti bolognese meal. I'm going to make myself some chicken and rice and soups, which should be quite nice. But we may be needing to get in the tents, I think, fairly soon. We'll see how it goes. And then I'm going to talk about my Qezer sleeping bag. Here we go. Chicken, teriyaki sauce and golden rice. Okay, yes. Here we go. This teriyaki sauce makes such a difference. Really, really, really nice. In the words of Warren Brand, get back to you in a bit. That hit the spot. And the boys are enjoying their something to eat meals as well. So let's have a look at a mid-range tent. This is the Jack Wolfskin Gossamer 2. I think it's called Star Tunnel 2 now. Really, really good tent. Really cheap as well. You can pick these up brand new in the hundreds of pounds, 130. I think on the Jack Gossamer website they're like 250, but you can ignore that. But really good tent. So downside is it's over a couple of kilos, but it is a two-person tent theoretically. I mean, you'd have to be really close to the person that you love in this. The other downside is that it is an inner first tent. Having said that, we got it up really quickly today. I will add another negative, is the fact that you only, when you get it, you get one guy line coming out the front, and therefore it has very little lateral support. So what we've done is we've crafted this kind of V-shape guy line thingy, and it's got quite a nice sized port as well. I've actually got a footprint for it, but we didn't bring it up, it was unnecessary weight. And then if you pitch it rear to the wind, you've got really good ventilation as the air goes up underneath there. But obviously the downside to that is in the winter this tent is pretty cold because it's got airflow. It is a 3-season tent, definitely not a 4-season tent. You can open the front up completely, and you can have it just with the inner tent if you just want a nice summer bug mesh tent. So yeah, really, really, really pleased with this tent. I can see a few pegs that need to go in a bit firmer, but we'll sort that out in a minute. But yeah, really good tent. And if you're on a shall we say a mid-range budget, you can pick up one of these really quite cheap. There is the Outdoor Gear Review channel did a feature on this tent and put it through very stormy conditions and torrential rain for a week, and after the week it was still perfectly dry inside. So very, very, very waterproof tent. Okay, in the tent now. So the next item was this Qezer sleeping bag. So it's quite lovely inside, it really is. Rated down to about 0 comfort rating. I've had it down to -1, -2. It's just about okay. Anything below that you want something else over it, like a blanket. But yeah, really good. It does leak a few feathers, but I've had this out now, I don't know, about 15 camps. But yeah, lovely and cozy. Use it as a blanket sometimes. Folds up fairly small. It's a down bag, so obviously fairly small, but yeah, good value for money, this one. Well, we've had a lovely evening playing around on this mountainside. We've got the twinkly lights of Cerrig-Calch below us now. I think it's going to be a bit of a wet night and probably not really a sunrise. So anyway, I think it's time to put my head down. The boys are asleep, and I will now take you to the morning. Good morning. Didn't really sleep particularly well last night, but I never do when I'm camping. But the main thing is I'm sitting here with this coffee with the view. Now, I will say a lot of people, and I've got one here today, I've got those little folding mugs, but I prefer these sort of rigid mugs. They're still very light and you can put stuff in them in the rucksack. And again, these are really cheap from Decathlon. They're about £5-6. And later I'll show you also some other sort of bargains as well, which I've got, which is the a Decathlon rucksack and Decathlon walking shoes as well. So trying my best to save you some money. So yeah, just coming from the bit about the rucksack, film that now. So it's a Decathlon rucksack, I think it's 75 litres, really good value for money. It's about £80, it's really strong. It's got a sort of a zip going down the middle of it so you can easy access stuff once you're in the tent. I have a few doubts about that zip. Longer term, if that was to come undone on a camp, it would be game over. So not so sure about that, but it has held up really well. It also comes with a waterproof cover inside. It's very comfy, it's got loads of adjustment. Again, outdoor gear review, highly rate this rucksack. So if you can't afford something like an Osprey, then I definitely recommend this. And again with the walking boots, these are probably £70. I get through shoes really quickly, so I get through a set of these a year. They're quite good, they're from Decathlon. They are good value for money, however, they do not stay waterproof for very long. You have to re-waterproof them. We're on the subject of equipment, just packing up here. This is a Quintcraft footprint for the tent. I've heard some people say that these are even better than the Hilleberg ones, so I got one, really quite pleased with it. It's holding up, needs a bit of a clean, spilt some coffee down there this morning and needs a bit of a brush, but yeah, quite good, really enjoying it.
I've walked through shadows, followed the wrong stars, took the long way down. Now I've got these scars. Every step I took, every road I chose, left a trail of dreams and doors I closed. If I could turn back the hands of time, rewrite our story, make it all right, I take those chances, I face my fears, undo the mistakes that cost us tears. I see your face, the one I let down, the broken promises, they all gather round. I chased the wrong things, lost sight of what's true. Now I'm left with echoes of what I didn't do. If I could turn back the hands of time, rewrite our story, make it all right, I take those chances, I face my fears, undo the mistakes that cost us tears. Now I stand alone in the silence of the night, haunted by the past and the wrongs I couldn't right. If I had one wish, I'd go back and start anew, but all I have are memories of life I knew. If I could turn back the hands of time, rewrite our story, make it all right, I take those chances, I face my fears, undo the mistakes that cost us tears. But time keeps moving, it won't wait for me, so I carry the weight of what will never be. If I could turn back can do now is say